How's it, guys, and welcome to the first episode of Getting to Grips in 2026. So, as you can see in the studio, there's lots and lots of different things that have gone on. The wall is now finished. We've got lots of new exciting things, collaborations that we actually have with Model Agency, and we have Timbre as well that sponsor our streaming switches. But I'm going to mention all those just now. So today's show is all going to be about shaping light. So we're going to work with some very basic tools, and then we'll start working with some of the tools that Godox have for using the projection, using all the gobos and getting cool shapes, working with some color. So we're going to be doing all that in the show. If this camera does lose focus and I start to dance, don't laugh. Okay, I'm just trying to get the focus back. And also, we got a new comfort monitor. So if you see my head dropping down anywhere, I'm checking to see what's going on. So let me start out. Jordan Legacy Management. That is the actual agency that we're going to have collabing with us this year. They're going to be supplying some models, different faces, different personalities. So it's going to be quite a lot of fun going forward on that. Tamba, also, they were the guys that actually helped us out. I'm going to say a big shout out to Tyler, who motivated me, kept me going to actually make sure I got this wall finished. I don't think he was ever going to give up until I did get it finished. And then also the streaming switches that we actually use, the OC and the ATEM Blackmagic, all from Tamba. Go through to their website, have a look at what broadcasting gear they have, and they've got an online store called applix.co.za. All right, but everything else is Godox. So we're going to be using some Godox lights, 8400s, 8300s, mainly today's show. So let me tell you what we're going to be doing first. So I'm going to be setting up a couple of poly boards, and we're going to create almost like that open door sort of light coming through into a room. And then as soon as I have that set up, I will introduce our model for today. New face, uh, great personality, very bubbly. So it's going to be a lot of fun. All right, so let me get this first setup done. But before that, while I'm doing that, please let us know where you're watching from. Put in the comments, and I think Talia will be able to actually put you up on the screen so people can see their comments. So just get on with that while I set up the first one. So let me go and get the poly boards. All right. So this is something that you can actually do in studio with either poly boards. You get these from the actual builders sort of yards or whatever, and they're already pre-cut around about 600 millimeters by about 2.4, I think it is. And you can actually use these to actually shape your light. You can actually also use a C stand with two pieces of black material and have your light behind that. But let me set up the light, and then I will introduce our model. So the light I'm going to be putting in here is the AD 400 Pro. This is the boards. This is what we're going to be shooting through. I'm just going to show you what modifiers we've got on this. Okay, so we got the ADR 12. That's the one. It's the deep dish that I'm going to put on there. I've just put that. It is a Godox mount, so it will fit on your 8300s, your 8400s, and anything else that has the Godox mount. So I'm going to put this into position, and hopefully the model doesn't trip over this while I do have it in position. All right. All right, let's get back to camera. Okay, we're on the aux camera. That's cool. That's the nice thing about having the comfort monitor. I can see exactly where Talia's put me, because last time I was speaking into other cameras for a very long time. All right, so without any further waiting, we have Angelique, who's our model for today. Find a space to come through. So Angelique is actually going to be doing our modeling and stuff. So we're going to start off with sort of a black suit. We're going to probably turn down some of the studio lights so you guys can actually see what I'm seeing, because the video lights are going to wash out a lot of the light. And then it's over to the expert model to do all the poses. And then hopefully we can get some awesome shots, so then Angelique can also have those for her portfolio and stuff. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to turn off some of these lights, then I'm going to put on the 8400 and get everything in position so we can start shooting, because that's what we're here for. We want to shoot. We don't want to listen to me babbling on about stuff. All right. Oh, lots of lights. I must get my app to actually connect all these lights and just switch them off. All right. Whoa, there you go. Now we've got a nice dark studio. Gonna get the 8400 in. Let's get this light on. Okie dokie. It's very important the way you position these boards, especially to where the light is actually going to be coming in. If I put the light very close, you see how much spread this has got, because the closer the light is to the board, let me go into the light. The closer the light is to the board, it's actually going to be diffused. It's going to spread the light further. The further it goes back, the harder the light, the more solid the actual lines will be coming through the board. So I'm going to move these back. Hopefully I don't smash Talia on the head with a light. Okay. Let's lift it up a little bit more. All right. So this is what we've got. We've got our boards. We've got the light coming through. I've got the light probably about a meter, maybe a meter, just under a meter away. I find that often actually works quite well. Just want to get this one a little bit more here. Cool. So I'm going to find my camera wherever I put that. Here we go. And my first shot will be, if anybody is watching out in La La Land there, what is my first shot going to be? No flash, no pick. All right. So I just want to make sure that we've got no other light coming in on the actual camera. So this is going to be the most important shot of the night. Where is my super source? There you go. Pure black image. So that means definitely no light pollution coming in there. And we have comments on Facebook or YouTube. Right, first thing I'm going to just check this light. If the first shot is bad, you can't hold anything against me. You understand that? All right, so I'm going to just take one shot and see what we get. Okay, it's not too bad. I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to just have you move over a little bit. That's cool. So I'm going to do a couple of portrait shots here. And I'm going to just move the light back even a little bit more there, or move the boards forward so I can get a stronger. Okay, just move over a little bit there. That's a bit more this way. Cool. Not too far back. Don't stand on the curve. Okay, come a little bit more forward in the light there. That's cool. All right. Okay. And then I'm just going to actually get, we've got like a spill over on the board. So I'm going to actually shoot that to include it into the actual frame, because it might be a little bit more interesting where we have multiple color multiple light strips. Okay, just go back one little bit. That's it. And go there. Just bring your chin up a little bit. All right, so you can see where I've actually moved the board a little bit closer into the model. I'm going to get into the light here. I can get here. I can be in the light here. So moving the boards a little bit closer to the model, giving us a bit more room between the boards and the light, you can see how much stronger in the image, which is over there, this image, over there, you can see how much more defined the actual lines are. So this is I'm going to switch these lights back on so I can talk. So we can actually see the line still on this one. So that's cool. So basically, working with boards, working with sheets of material on a C stand, it's a very simple way of creating this. But we can go one step further by working with some of the tools that Godox actually has on the market. So obviously I have the SAP with the SA17. I also have the BFP, and I'm going to sort of recreate the same look as this, but there will be differences. I don't know if anybody out there can tell me what difference will it be shooting with a projection unit compared to shooting with bare bulb and two boards. I don't know if anyone can give me an answer while I change some things up here. Just want to move these boards out the way. Any answers out there? Nobody answering. Hey? Is that on there? So that. Oh, light spread. Yeah, so with the actual bare bulb and the actual boards, there's nothing to contain the light. So the light's going to be bouncing all over the place. So the light will spread much wider across the actual image itself, as you can see in the shot there. Just bring that image back up there, Tanya. Okay, so we have like that gray sort of light there. As soon as we put a projection unit on, it's going to have very, very dark surroundings. So let me get let me get my favorite toy. I love playing with projection units. I'm actually going to bring this one off so I can show you guys. I can't go too far because it's attached to my 8400, but I do have the extension head on. Okay, let me go on to camera 1 and put all these lights on so I can actually see. All right. So this bad boy, the BFP, it's got built-in blades that you can actually use. You've got your gobo holders, which I'm going to take this gobo out because I am going to be using and recreating what we did with the boards. It also has a lens on. Okay, so this lens is actually an 85 millimeter lens, and it does the job. It's quite a medium size lens. I'd like to get the 65, but I'm also going to put a Canon 50mm lens on here as well, just to show you what that actually does. So let's recreate, or try and recreate, what we did with the boards. Right, let's just see. Now I'm going to use the 85mm lens on here and see if it's going to actually suffice. Otherwise, I will put the 50mm lens on. I don't know who can tell me what difference will it make having a 55mm lens on this light modifier. Any questions out there? Any answers? Nothing. Yeah, these guys, it's probably still the new year. All right, so the 50mm lens is actually going to give you a much wider sort of spread. The 85 is sort of a medium type spread, and then I've actually put my 70 to 200 on it. I've zoomed into 200, and it gives you a much tighter light. So you can get a 150mm, you can get a 65mm, and you can get the 85mm. So that's the three sizes I think Godox actually work with. But you can put a Canon mount lens actually on there, an EF lens, not a RF. So you can actually use that, but there is some sort of limitation. So let me again turn off these lights because I can't see. I can't see my. Okay. Now we're just going to have no light hardly at all. How's that? All right. Just going to close these blades in and put my modeling lamp on. Okie dokie. I'm going to move this back. And this is why to have a nice wider lens on is actually nice, because if you don't have the space to move the light all the way back, then you are going to battle trying to get this right. Okay, I'm going to just shoot it into the corner there. And I'm going to get my, just test. So there you can see Angelique is in this strip of light. And because the light is further away, we might have to do some changes to the actual shot. Just get the super source up there, Talia. There's nothing in there. Yeah. As you're coming up into the shot there. Not coming up into the shot there. Probably because I need to belt this one even more power. So I'm going to move this up to full power. Where is my light not coming through? This is the joys. Let me move this closer here. Let me just check what is going on. The joys of live streaming. You guys should try it sometime. It's real fun. It's really fun, I must be honest. All right. And then also working in the dark is great as well. Okay. We're going to get this up. Definitely got. And it can be quite an interesting job actually shaping this light. As you can see now, we got a very different shape. And you got to remember the opposite. So the bottom is the top blade, and the bottom one is the top adjustment on the light. And then where is the camera? Here we go. All right, let's now take a shot. I'm going to move around. So we are definitely a lot darker. What is going on here? And I'm going to go up to ISO 200. Okay. I'm going to try not to get into the light. Just crouch a little bit. Just go on, crouch on your haunches there. Now you see these images now, you're going to see they're a lot darker. I mean, I've got the light 1.1 or one of one power, and you can see how much light is actually being sucked in. And there's no spread of light either. So you can start shaping the light and not get in the way of the light. Okay, keep it there, and this is going to be I've just adjusted that one down. So how do we now make sure that we've got a bit of fill light in on the actual scene? Because now your projection unit is just going to light up what you want. So that is it's an ideal tool to actually even shape right the way down to just an eye of a model. So you can literally focus and just put one square of light actually in on the actual model's face. Let me get, I should actually have someone here so I can turn on the lights. I'm just going to put one light on for now, just so we can see. So I'm actually going to be putting on an 8300. Now I'm not going to point this at the model. I'm just going to literally bounce it off the ceiling. And by bouncing it off the ceiling, we should then get our fill. And it'll be on a very lower, a lot lower power than our main light. So let me put this one in. And when you do this, make sure you tighten your lights inside the bracket. I've seen too many people drop their light. Make sure it's firmly in. I'm just going to put this out the way. Switch it on. Because the model always forgets to switch on my lights. I don't know what it is, but they always forget to switch on my lights. So I'm actually tired of shooting in the dark. I'm going to leave this one light on, but now it's going to make your, so as long as you're in line with this light, but should be interesting. And let's have our super source up there so we can check. So there you go. You still got the stripper light. You've got the fill light, but it's too strong for my liking. I want to get it a little bit. This is when I wished I had the Mark II 8300 Pro. Then I could see what color this one is. This one is on C. And this one is what channel is this one on? This is on channel 9 and sitting at 256. So let's put it up to 128, say 164. Let's put it to 128. Yeah. Question?
Which optical snoot do you think produces light the least when used?
What optical snoot produces?
Reduces
Reduces light.
the least.
The least. I find my SA17 and my SAP, I get less reduced of light. The BFP will literally cut the light, and I think it's definitely the way the design is, where it doesn't really let any light out forward at all. Some of the cheaper optical snoots that are not even Godox branded, there are some other cheap Chinese ones. They will actually let light out through around the sides of the snoot, and then it will also then give you that fill light, but it's not really controlling the light. And if you wanted to sort of shape a triangle or a heart on a model's face and have everything else very dark, and then just light up with some fill, then those cheap branded ones will just not work. So I find the BFP one really does cut out a lot of a lot of extra sort of light. I tend to look at the SA17 and SAP. It does have a little bit more light coming out from the actual snoot itself, because there is gaps and space within the actual lens, um, the lens attachment. Does that answer the question? Hopefully. All right. So let's try this one now. We're going to put the 8300 right the way down to 128. Angelique, are you ready? Okay, let's see. All right. So there we got, I think that is quite a nice bit of, I like that fill. That's not too bright. Just turn your head slightly up and sort of keep in line. I know it's hard to see with the lights on, but I'm just going to move around a little bit as well. That's it. And I'm going to zoom right out and put you right in the middle of the frame. Okay, another question.
So they ask approximately how much light does the optical snoot from Godox reduce? Does it work better than the others?
I find it works much better than the others. On the 8400s, if I have my snoot quite far away, then I'm using full power, one-on-one on an 8400. If I have it sort of midway or to the edge of the studio area, which one of my camera am I in? Then I would actually use probably about 1/8 or even a quarter power on that. But as I said, I've got the other projection unit, which I'm also going to be using as well. Well, I'll have two optical snoots, and then you can actually see what each one actually does. Okay, you posing already? Yeah, I got to try and figure out where the light is now. So I'm going to open it up a little bit, and I'm going to. Seems you're on the floor. I'm going to bring it round. It's actually a lot of guesswork when you've got studio TV lights, video lights on, but I can just see the shadows, so I know you're in there. Okay, let's get the super source up there. Yeah, so we can. And the nice thing also, which blah, 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 what I'm going to say. Which one am I on? Oh, aux one. Okay. Another thing about the BFP is it has a full 360 turning. So if I now am shooting that vertical, and now I want to actually turn it so it's horizontal, I can just about see where that light is. So I'm going to position this to there. And that's now turning the BFP around. And we've now got, just bring the other back shoulder around a little bit. So, that's cool. So that is also nice, which the SAP and the SA17 you can't do. You can turn it a little bit. And also with the blades, you can get the blades separately, but the blades are very finicky when you're working. So the BFP, I prefer when I'm doing shaping, definitely with the BFP on that. I'm going to switch the lens on this. Okay, so this is the Godox 85 millimeter, which comes with the BFP, but we're actually going to put a 50 mil on. And as I said, the 50 mil will actually spread out the light a lot more. Let me get this one in. As I said, it is a Canon mount. But the other thing is, when you're using these other lenses, it's not as clear where the actual lines is. Where with the 85 mil, I could just about see where the actual lines were. With the actual Canon lenses, it's not as crystal clear. So just bear that in mind. So when you are working with it, you can see now how much bigger that square is. Just put it on camera one there. So you can see how much bigger that space is now with a 50 mil. So now you can actually give it a bit more space. So if you actually want a big rounded circle, then use a 50 mil because that will give you a lot of extra size. Right, let me take a shot from here. Yeah.
Is it EF or RF now?
Okay, so the BFP, that's a good question. I forgot to even mention that. The actual lens mount on there is an EF. So all those people with mirrorless cameras that don't know what to do with your EF lenses, there, go and get yourself a BFP and you can use your EF lenses actually on that. So we're gonna change it up a bit. I'm gonna get you up against this wall, this one here. Then I'm gonna bring in this light, but I'm gonna change the actual, because this 8400 is actually on the mains power. I'm just gonna bring a battery over. All right. So the extra setup here is an 8400. It's got the H400p extension head, and then I've got the BFP, which I've actually mounted the BFP stand mount on here. If you actually on these ones, sometimes this can be a bit heavy, and it can actually cause a bit of a dip. So we're gonna put that on, and then I'm gonna get my battery for this one. Let me get. The nice thing about the 8400s and the 8600s and all of those bigger AD range, it does have the ability to work off of mains, does have the ability to work off a battery. So while it was over in the corner there, it was actually running on the mains. All right. The model forgot to turn the light on again. Hey, I tell you, one day I'll get it right. All right, so I'm gonna turn off again some lights here because otherwise I can't see where the shape is. And that's where the big difference comes in when working with a Godox lens. With a Godox lens and an EF lens. Okay, so I'm gonna get this one and bring this one in. If you can stand in the middle of that wall, you know where the middle is. Good. All right, so let's just then move this. And it can be faffy, this moving things around. You can't see anything, eh? I can, well, that's a good, right, that should be a good enough pattern. All right. So I think this will be the last couple of shots I'll do with this one, and then we'll do a change just now. Right, so I'm going to do the front on ones, stay in that same position. Let's see what we get. There we go. So we've got that, but I like to work with an angle. Just almost put your back up and arch a little bit with the, that's cool. And maybe just bring that foot, that's it. Cool. And you're going to come a little bit more off. So it gives you a nice way of doing that. What I'm going to do is also now show you how we're just going to focus in on the face. Don't change yet. She's so wanting to get into something else. I know. All right. To almost now a strip of. You know what I'm going to do? I'm going to actually put the 85mm lens back on here because I can see better. And a lot of the actual lights now that are coming out from Godox have got all these nice little snoots, all the continuous lights. Right, so what I'm going to do is I'm just going to light up a section of your face, okay, like half of your face. And what I'm going to do is right, don't move. Stay exactly like that. Don't even smile. I've got to recheck now. Yeah, you moved. All right. Try not to move. You've always got to have fun in a shoot. Let me go to this side of the face, then that's, and then do that. And I've still got the 8300 firing there. So we'll still have a bit of light in there. If I turn this one off, if I turn C off, I can do it on my trigger. All right, you've moved again, but it's fine. I'll forgive you this time. Okay. You can literally close everything down to just, I'm going to try and get, I almost call this shot. I'm going to turn this light off so you guys can see me positioning here because it's like guesswork. Right. And the beauty of the BFP, you can turn it once you've got. Did you get taller all of a sudden? No, your eyes have changed height. Right, open your eyes. Look towards me. Don't look in directly into this beam of light. Okay. So you can imagine now doing this, and then we got this sort of now just straighten your head, not too much, but this way. Lift your chin slightly. Cool. You tilt it again. See how you can actually just lock everything down to like somebody's eyes, and then you also now you can put a gel on another light, fill it a bit of color, or you can actually put a gel in on your BFP. Say, for instance, you were doing a lipstick advert, and you just give me your Colgate advert. You got all this bright teeth. Give me a smile. Straighten your face up so it's straight. Cool. It's yo. This is. I wish the model could just sort of step on a box. There you go. Right, keep it there. Don't move. Okay. So I'm going to put in. I'll put the 8300 on. Just going to balance a gel on there because I don't have my tape right now. Okay. All right. Just bring your chin down a little bit. That's cool. No, a bit up there. Okay, so we'll have a bit of fill light so we can, which we're going to be doing just now. So the model is going to actually go and change into her blue or black dress because we're going to have fun. We're going to do the blue one on the third. I nearly stuffed up there. All right, let me put these lights back on. Any questions on anything? So we're going to start adding in. We're going to start adding in a bit of color light. We're going to work with the black dress. We'll start off and then we'll just sort of introduce some color and see what we can actually generate with that. I think there's another episode that we've got coming out where I was working in the space of white backgrounds, adding different colors, using different materials to create different effects. But today we will just work with our gels. So let me get this. Any questions? Where's everyone watching from? Has anyone even typed where they're watching from there, Talia? Mexico City. Welcome, Mexico City. Yeah. Who else is on there? Because we can give them shout outs. Make your comments. Talia will give you a shout out over the stream. Now, as I said, I like to work with gaffer tape when I use my gels, but I'm seeing I'm going to have some scissors because I don't know why I don't have strength to cut my gaffer tape. Any questions? I'm going to change the modifier on my 8300 to an ADR14. I just find it a lot easier to work with. All right. So this is the ADR 14. It's you can actually get a kit. It does come with grids and gels and stuff as well. And remember to put your light in first if you're using an S2 bracket. All right. Question for everyone out there: what color should I use? Come on, somebody's got to give me some color ideas here. Which color should I use? Anybody out there? Give me a comment. Because generally my default is Godox orange. Let's try red. Huh? Who put any color out there? Black and red. It's dangerous. Huh? Huh?
Your complementary color.
Purple. Purple? Oh, yes, you can have some glasses. All right. If you want to take your... I'm going to start on the actual wall. And then we'll move around. I don't know. I'm going to use the red one. Well, that might even be purple, actually. All right. So we're going to use some color fill. I use gaffer tape because it doesn't leave any residue on the gel or on my lens reflectors. Okay, let's get this one out and we can get this one forward because we're gonna, this is almost like Spotlight, Superstar, Famous, Angelique's Famous. Okay. Now, there's a couple of things that you can actually do. I'm going to shoot sort of downwards and I will change some of the things up where we actually lower it down and shoot it so you can actually see the difference in the actual output. Okay. All right. Let me shoot from this side because this is kind of cool. Just come over a little bit. A little bit back. Yeah. All right. So let's shoot. Where's our super source there, Talia? I just want to see how purple or how, so we can actually give a little bit. Let's see, right. So you can see, I think that color is a bit too washy out, but let's get a couple more shots in on here. All right, so we can look at doing some gobo. So the gobos actually, let's this because this is quite an elegant gobo, and we can actually slot this one in. I'm going to move this round to 0. Okay. Right, I'm going to get you to move over half a step. That's it. Right there. Do you want to move your foot over? Okay. I forgive you for dragging your feet on the cycle. Right. So we put a gobo in. Let's see what this looks like. It needs to be focused. So I'm going to actually try and see if I can see it here. No, I can't see it totally here. Yeah, turn the lights off again. Lucky you got sunglasses on. All right, that should be enough to see what's going on. Okay. Right, so I'm going to bring this down a little bit. Right, then I'm going to change this color because I don't like this color. It seems too washy. I want I want some stronger color so we can actually see. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to bring this color into the line of fire. Right. Whoop. Let me put this up. All right. Are you ready? You always look ready. It's me that's not ready. All right, cool. And I see my tether cable is behaving badly today. Okay, and look at camera. Now look how well different that looks. Okay, so we've got the color there, we've got a bit of patterning. The nice thing about light shaping is gobos work absolutely amazing. You can get the standard gobos at godox.co.za, or you can actually get the custom ones cut. It is expensive. I'm not going to lie. It is expensive. I think what they do is they will charge. They will actually charge, I think, close to 2,000 Rand for your gobo. And then they charge you per copy of that gobo is 700 Rand, I think, in some places. Any questions there? What's the questions there? I don't have my glasses. And I can't see the question on the. Yes, I like orange. My orange shoes, my orange cable, my orange in my logo. I like orange. All right, so I'm going to swap out this gobo. I'm going to try and use gobos that are not the standard type of shape. So if you imagine so remember when you use a gel in anything you do, wherever there's going to be shadow, and obviously using a BFP, you're going to get a lot of shadow. And even the lines on your gobo will go orange. So how's this cable? I bought a longer cable, but it ends up dancing with itself more than I can actually use it there. So let me take a couple of different angle shots. And then I'm going to take one here where we're going to actually turn off. I'm going to turn off this camera just to show you how dark this actually is. There you go. It's quite dark, quite cool. Keep there. Just look up a little bit. Let's get the orange back on. Huh? 758. No, come off it. No, come. Okay, one more shot here. Then we got to do the blue dress. Because the blue dress, I've got something in mind. Why do you always bring me bad news? Which camera am I on? I'm on the aux one. Hey. I'm going to switch on my lights. Okay, thank you. All right, so light shaping, every modifier that you have in your kit is going to actually do light shaping of some sort, whether it's softbox, whether it's a snoot, whether it's anything. But if you want to get precise, projection units are absolutely amazing tools to actually use. I did a shoot with a projection unit. It was for a lipstick brand, and literally we just had the lips, and then the actual different colors of lipsticks we actually then shot with the different color gels and just did slight adjustments in the edit on the color of the gel, but it worked out absolutely awesome for those different lipsticks. So I'm going to change the setup here while the model is getting ready. I've got to find the gobo that I need to use. It's amazing how an hour goes past too quick. So let's just get this one in. So I'm gonna, these gobos, they are a little bit smaller than your standard Godox ones, but I have got like an extra holder that's actually inside the Godox mount that I can slot these ones actually into and use them in my BFPs. All right. So we're going to get you standing roughly about here. Okay. And we're going to get, yeah, you can use your blue glasses. I would say around about here, sort of in the middle there. I can just see my little crescent. All right, let me move this one over here. Because I'm going to put a blue gel on this one. And I need my tape again. Blue dress, blue light. And what's that song?
Oh, are you looking for a song?
Yeah. You're very young. I was thinking more Blue Moon. Blue Moon was what I was sort of thinking of. So obviously, I'm showing my age. No, it's, you know what? When you're young, it's not a problem. It's like I grew up a lot at with my grandparents, so I had access to all the old records. You must know.
20.
She is 20.
Oh, no, I wasn't talking about her, I was talking about me. I went
Uh,
in there with Brad and I wouldn't let me in. I showed them my ID and I was like, there's so much of this. It's crazy.
you know what? Enjoy it while you can. All right, so I'm gonna just turn off here. I don't know if the video can actually see, but I can see the moon. So I'm gonna actually get you sort of in the moon. So you sort of stay there. You can even mingle your hands in a little bit closer there. And you're standing on one leg, and there's me chatting. All right, so let's see how this comes out because I have no idea. Hey, super sauce, I can't see what's going on there. All right, so we need to get your face in. No, I need to get the light on your face. Let's see. Yeah, there. That's it. It was my mistake, not yours. How cool is that? You can't see it. Put your glasses on. Just put your glasses on there. I want to get another shot. See, this is the problem models have, eh? All right, I'm just going to make sure that you're. And just with your legs, just maybe just. That's it. And then go through. And then I'm going to move this so it's in your section. And then I'm going to move. Okay, let's have a look. How cool is that? We have a real cool background. Now what I want to do is almost you can see the light there, eh? Just try and sort of shape a little bit there and almost like that's cool. I'm just gonna move you a little just come over a little bit and then I'll move the light. Okay. Now look at me. Cool. And the shadow there, because obviously we got now the shadow. This is where you got to watch out now with your gel light, creating a shadow that you don't want. Okay, keep it there. I'm gonna come in tight. Actually, put your hands towards the other way there. Okay, and we're gonna do this one last shot. I promise, a photographer's promise, one last shot could be 50. Right, now look at camera. Look at camera. Okay, and I told you it was one last shot. Look at camera, look at me. I wanna see Angelique. Okay, just just bend the arms a little bit there. Maybe actually just bring that's it. Cool. I just want to make sure it's on your face. It's always good to see the model's face, especially when she's a nice looking model. There you go. All right. So I think that's all I have time for. I'm already over time, eh? Oh my word. So get me onto camera one. All right, guys. I'm going to put my camera down. So, working with BFPs, you can actually get these from godox.co.za or even Golden Power Batteries, whatever site you prefer to actually be on. I find them absolutely amazing to use. You can control your light right the way down. I've even used these in product photography where I actually just highlight a small speck of light on a label and then I defocus it and then it lights up the label of the wine or the whiskey bottle and stuff like that. So they're very handy tools to actually have, and there's a lot of creative fun when working with models as well. So Golden Power Batteries or godox.co.za. You can use my discount codes at the bottom of the screen. I think the one on there is the GPP one, and you can use the Godox one, which is Godox Carl D. So obviously, thanks for watching, and we will see you again soon. Cheers for now.
I want the sun.
Operation Night 2D.
Copy that.
Only your future is brighter than us. Shop Godox S.